OK, Peter, name that tune we came back on. Name that tune by the Beatles.
I'd like to be under the sea with an octopus's garden.
What's it called?
Octopus's garden.
Yellow Submarine, you fool. Yellow Submarine. That's the name of it.
No, it's not.
What's it called?
No, Octopus's garden.
Octopus's garden, that's it. Octopus's garden is... Well, how does the Yellow Submarine go? And please don't say you've got to float it. How does it go, the Yellow Submarine? We all live in a... That's it, yes. But pretty close, boys, pretty close there. OK, with Lynda Stoner here and Dr Hugh Wirth about to join us. Welcome back to Dr Dolittle on the 7 Network right around Australia. Please welcome veterinarian and also President of the RSPCA, Dr Hugh Wirth. Her? It's a her, isn't it?
It's a her.
Welcome, Hugh. And this is a little... I know Lynda would love to look after.
I would, actually.
What's her name?
Well, the show's dubbed it Cleo. So.
Cleo? Oh.
Yeah, she's a little stray. She's only 6 months old.
Like some water? Some water? Look. It's a really neat vodka if you'd like to try it. No?
Well, she's had a bit of lunch too.
Yeah, go over to Auntie Lynda. She'll look after you. There's a nice mind thought, being on a leash with Lynda Stoner. Wonderful. Hugh, just talking to Lynda about animal liberation, of course, I mean, you would be very grateful to someone like Lynda for the amount of work that she's done.
Yeah, it's important that political work is done to, shall we say, create in the community an atmosphere where change can occur for the betterment of animals.
What actually do you look for with the care of animals by the general public? I mean, who should have dogs and cats? Who are qualified to look after those animals?
This is the big debate, of course. There are a lot of animal welfareists who are so appalled by what they have to deal with day by day. They feel that the true way in which animals should be owned is to licence the owners and not licence the dog. And I think there's a great lot of truth in that. But in our particular culture at the moment, having a dog particularly is almost a right, not a privilege, and we're working to try and reverse that.
The sort of work that Lynda has done over the years, with, of course, many thousands of other people, how far down the track are you? They're still making experiments for makeup, etc. on animals, aren't they?
I think Lynda would agree that there's been an enormous change in the last 5 years, particularly in this country. I'd venture to say that the major Australian states have got better laws now than even the United Kingdom, where in fact animal welfare really has its origins. And certainly we've got much better laws than the average United States state.
Mm-hmm. But what can you expect, though, when people put the argument up that there are certain experiments which must be done for the betterment of human nature?
Yes, well, our answer to the RSPCA doesn't debate that animal experimentation with certain restrictions is necessary, not only to further human health but animal health as well. Just how that experimentation is done, where it's done and who does it is very much a matter of concern for us. Now, I think that in the last 5 years in New South Wales, Victoria and South Australia, we've got a set of state legislation that controls animal experimentation quite well. The problem for the RSPCA that it's not enforced properly. So on one hand we've got good laws which we've fought for, on the other hand they're hardly enforced.
Is there any particular age group that doesn't do the right thing by their animals?
Yes, I think it varies from place to place. As you know, Australia's got a whole setup of mini cultures and different beliefs from territory to state. So there is a variation, but the greatest problem we have are mainly family people who give in to their children about ownership of animals without teaching the children responsibility.
Especially at Christmas time.
Especially at Christmas time. They don't know the word no, you see, Bert. And so dogs, cats come in. They grow up. They're lovely little cuddly pups, lovely little cuddly kittens. They grow up and display their true instincts. They might be a large Great Dane. They could be a fairly angry German Shepherd. And so mum and dad say, oh dear, we've got to solve this problem. And they solve the problem by opening the back gate. And that dog then is released, just like young Chloe here, becomes an urban feral and ultimately filters down to the RSPCA. And this year we're going to find something of the order of 20,000 of these animals in the city of Melbourne. In Sydney it'll be slightly more.
Did you say Cleo or Chloe? What's the dog's name?
Well, it's been dubbed Cleo.
Oh, Cleo. Oh, right. Yeah, you called it Chloe before. I thought I
I'm sorry.
the wrong name.
Oh, well, maybe you're right.
Yes.
Maybe we did dub it Chloe and I've mucked it up.
Who cares anyway?
Yeah.
I was just thinking, while you're talking about that, about the inhumanity of people to animals. Yeah. I know that you hold out a lot of hopes, people like yourselves, for animals to be looked after correctly. But what sort of a chance have we got when you have a look at man's inhumanity to man? Because if they're not going to treat each other well, how can you expect them to treat animals well?
Well, you've hit the nail on the head. There's a parallel. Right at the present time, the RSPCA is seeing a rise in deliberate cruelty to animals. The bashings, the stabbings, the throwing of kittens off high-rise buildings, etc. That sort of deliberate cruelty. Now, when you analyse what's happening human to human, you're seeing the same parallel rise in incidence of nastiness. The stabbings, the brutality, the shootings, the muggings, and they just go hand in hand. Now, you look at any country in our Western culture, it's identical. So there's really something wrong with us.
Yeah, the real problem is humanity itself, isn't it?
That's right.
And the sort of pressures we put on ourselves.
Absolutely.
Hugh, lovely seeing you again, and lovely to see Cleo or Chloe or
whatever.
Thanks for your time, and good luck with your continued work.
Thanks very much, Bert.
Dr. Hugh Wirth. Also, we thank Lynda too for being with us today.